You're a mobile gamer and you're looking for the best strategy games, some that are really popular and some hidden gems. So today in this video, I'm bringing you 15 of my favorites. With over 2 million reviews and 4.4 stars, Rise of Kingdoms is the #1 game on today's list. This is a game that I've spent hundreds of hours playing, probably the one that I've spent the most time of all the games on today's list, besides one, which you'll find later. This one is where you have to build up your city, work with your friends, and take on others. This is the most brutal strategy game I have ever played in my life. Because in Rise of Kingdoms, everything that you build, everything that you create, everything that you spend your time on can be taken away in a war if you happen to be in a battle with someone that's stronger than you. Rise of Kingdoms has some deep demographics and also some extremely deep political elements to it. If you're looking for a game like this, Rise of Kingdoms with free movement, which is a big thing right here, is the one for you. Also created by Lilith Games, we have Warpath with over 370,000 reviews. It's sitting at 4.3 stars. This game is very similar to Rise of Kingdoms, except for it brings us into a much more modern element, a much more modern world. So if Rise of Kingdoms looked like a game for you, but you wanted something a bit more modern, this one is probably going to be a really solid choice for you. Sitting at 4.1 stars, we have Top War Battle Game. This is another game that I spent some time playing with a really cool merge feature where you can connect your units together into one, and it eventually is going to be upgrading them. Now the point here is it feels a lot like Boom Beach, but it's more like one of these war titles that we were just talking about earlier on, like a Rise of Kingdoms. This game lacks a little bit of depth compared to some of the others we'd mentioned here today, but it is a vertical game, a lot of fun, and maybe worth trying if that's what you're looking for. Sitting with 4.5 stars out of over 2 million reviews, we have State of Survival, and check it out. This is a video that I put out 2 years ago featuring this game, giving you guys some tips. This is another strategy game, one of the leaders in the mobile space with many different elements. What you're viewing right here is some side missions where you can get rewards and upgrade your characters along the way. It's another one, but this one takes place in a zombie universe, which I actually like. I like that setting better than the mythical things. Very similar to Rise of Kingdoms and the games we mentioned earlier in today's video, but skinned and themed for the zombie apocalypse. More up my alley, but it does lack that free world movement. 100% free to play, but some people decide to spend. Really a great game though, State of Survival, you can't go wrong. Infinity Kingdom is up next with 4.5 stars out of over 200,000 reviews. I really like this game, and something that really stands out to me are both the heroes that you can play as and that you have pet dragons that can help you in many different ways. This game offers something different than all the others on the list, plus it looks incredible. I really like the graphics of the game. Between the graphics, the dragons, the characters, and the gameplay, I think this one is probably one of my favorites from today's list altogether, although it's not the most popular of all the games. Remember, popularity is not always everything. Infinity Kingdom is a ton of fun. There is a learning curve, of course, and I actually have some videos out on this game that I made a year ago when I was playing it myself. Try this one out. Massive world battles that you can participate in. It's a great game. I think you'll like it. Bloons TD 6, 4.8 stars out of hundreds of thousands of reviews. This is the one game though on today's list that is not free. This one costs $6.99, but it is so much fun. Tower defense with a ton of skill trees you could use to upgrade your monkeys. Really a great game to play with yourself or even to play with your kids because it is very kid friendly. Absolutely fun game with great graphics and just monkeys that are fun. Risk with 4.5 stars out of hundreds of thousands of reviews. Do you remember playing this board game back in the day when you were a kid? Well, now you could play on mobile, a huge strategy game that plays very well if you even remember the days when you did play it on the old school tabletop. If you're into this type of game, if you enjoyed it in the past, or if you're looking for something new that is a strategy tabletop style gameplay, this could be a game that you would enjoy. 4.5 stars with almost 900,000 reviews. We're looking at Raft, where you are just that. You're on a raft trying to survive, build up your raft, and do a whole bunch of strategy so that you can live on the waters while being attacked by the creatures of the sea, including sharks I never do go in the water on the beach. I always do fear the sharks. But hey, this game is a lot of fun. It really has a Minecraft feel to it, but in my opinion, more fun. I love the ocean. I love sharks. I just don't want to swim with them. Tropico's up next with 4.4 stars. This is a strategy game where you are going to take over a nation and be a leader that really controls all. I know, it sounds crazy, sounds demonic, but it is what you make of it. And this is your opportunity to rule the world. Really popular game series that's out now on mobile. Rome Total War is next on today's list, and also a $10 game, so not free, sitting at 4.6 stars with 14,000 reviews. Now you guys realize that the games that you have to pay for have less reviews. This is because the mobile whole world likes mobile games for free, and they'll pay with microtransactions within. Doesn't mean that the low number of reviews means that this game isn't good. It's just because a lot of people aren't ready or willing to shell out 10 bucks right at the beginning here just to play the game. By the way, if you like strategy, if you like top 10 lists and things like this, make sure you sub the channel and ring the bell. So Rome Total War is another leader in this gaming space. A lot of people that are into these strategy style games will know the name and will be interested in picking this one up. Again, not free to play, costs you 10 bucks up front, but you will pay nothing more after you get to that point in time. Set up your armies, start your battles, and fight against tons of other real life people. Tons of fun, a strategy game that has been around for the ages. Check this out, 4.3 stars with almost 8 million reviews. We're looking at Lords Mobile. Now it says Lords Mobile Tower Defense, but we all know that Lords Mobile is not a tower defense game. Yes, you're defending your castle, but in a very, very different way. This game is the most popular as far as downloads go of everything on today's list. This is where things all began. This game was huge before some other games even came out, such as Rise of Kingdoms, and had a huge player base come from here, move on over to some of the other games that were on today's list. Still a very active game that is a ton of fun. Now, did I say Lords Mobile was the most popular? Because Clash of Clans has 4.6 stars with 59.5 million reviews. And by the way, while you're playing Clash of Clans, if you use code ECHO, it'll directly support my channel whenever you make any purchases inside of the game. But Clash of Clans is one of the biggest strategy games of all time inside of esports. Town Hall 15 update just released as well, where you have more troops, more hero levels, and more defenses to encounter. This game's all about protecting your town hall and taking down your opponents. Massive wards, tons of teamwork, and esports galore. Clash of Clans is probably the best on today's list. 3.9 stars with over 140,000 reviews. Command and Conquer is a game where you have your base, they have theirs, and you have to go and infiltrate with the troops that you are choosing to use. This is a really fun game, one that I would play casually and one that I have played in the past. I like the games of the past in PC, or I should say on PC, and I think it translates fairly well here to mobile. It's one definitely worth trying. Game of War is sitting with 3.4 stars with 1.5 million reviews. Lots of downloads here as well. As you can see, it's another one of these strategy style games where you are inside of a world and trying to protect your castle as people try to take it down. Reminds me very much of an old game called Iron Throne that is no longer on the market, but it's another one of those war style games, this one in a vertical format with a pretty large player base. With 4.4 stars with almost 1 million reviews, we have Vikings War of Clans. Definitely a different looking game from the others that we've been looking at here today, but again, it is one of the strategy types. This one takes place heavily on the seas, and it uses some words that are used by other games like War of Clans and Vikings, words that could be used when searching up other games. Makes me a little bit unsure of this one, but it is popular and a lot of people enjoy it. With 4 stars, we have Game of Thrones Conquest, and any game that wears the Game of Thrones name is going to be one that is taken seriously and downloaded. Maybe it's one that you should try. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know in the comments section, guys, what games you're playing right now, specifically strategy games. You never know when I'll take a look at them and pop them up in an upcoming video. Sub and ring the bell. Be good.